Hi everyone, in this lecture we are going to talk about CSS font properties. This is going to be a relatively shorter lecture and we're just going to cover two properties which one of which I think we have covered extensively before. So first let's go ahead and let's create some HTML before moving on to CSS. I'm going to create an H1 and I'm going to say data science C-I-E-N-C-E. There we go. And I'm going to create a paragraph. Now, in case you're interested in learning more about data science, I do have a Python course on Udemy. You can just go ahead and go to the description for this video and you will find the link for that. Just click on it and you will be redirected to Udemy, where I teach all about Python 0 to mastery, the common cliche that you hear every time. And there I also teach you how to get started with data science, what tools you need, and what are the different areas of Python, how Python allows you to branch out into different areas. That is a better sentence. So you feel free to check that course out. So getting back to this one, let's save our changes. Let's move on to CSS. So I'm going to change. First, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to change the font family. So for this, I'm going to zoom in. So you can see these lines coming out of these edges of this word. These are what's called serifs. So we have usually, for the most part, we have, I'm not getting too deep into typography and how fonts are chosen, how they're made responsive, because this is just an introduction to fonts and font properties. When we get to our projects, we are going to dive deeper in what kind of fonts they look good, and how you can make this the typography aspect of your website more fluid, more easy on the eyes, something like that. For now, we're just going to focus on two different kinds of font. The first one is serif. And these are serifs that you see that are coming out of the ends of these letters. And then we have sans serif. Sans serif is the font that's not going to have these things coming out of them. So for this to change, to be able to change the family of the font, you just need to select the font family. Now there are some font families here. This is not a lot. For the most part, we do not use these. We grab fonts from Google fonts, and I'm going to teach you how we can do that when we get to our projects. So a popular example of sans serif font, serif means without, so without sans. This is what it is going to look like. I'm just going to save that. There we go. So this is a sans serif font. You could decrease or increase the font size. So let me go back to the normal view. We could say font size 50 pixels. For our heading, for the heading of the website, we usually want it to be big, the font size to be bigger, but we wanted the thickness of the font to be reduced, and that is font weight. So font weight, you could put it to 100. Now you can see it's thinner. You could put it to 200, and gradually it is going to increase in width. Now keep in mind, some font families accept some of these font weight values. Some of them, they do not accept them. For example, some fonts, they may not have a font weight of 300. Keep that in mind. And you could go all the way to 900. So again, this is going to be very, bold. This is going to be bold. Let's move on to our paragraph. I'm going to grab the paragraph and I'm going to provide a font family for this as well. You could provide it for all of your HTML elements individually, but the common practice is that you need to have one universal font family for all of your paragraphs and maybe one for your specific H1. It comes to design choices that you make when you create that website. This is another popular example of a sans serif font. Let's increase the line height to 20 pixels. There we go. So with this, our lecture comes to an end. See you in the next one.